off. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies. We'll be with you in one moment. Good morning. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies. I think we have our live Zoom and our live feeds on all our social media kicked off. So today, welcome to the Thrive Challenge. Today, we're going to talk again about scaling to 7 figures and beyond. This is a little challenge and nugget session for you all as you look forward going into September through the end of the year to keep up the momentum, to keep that fire in your belly, and to give you some strategies that you can put into action later today to help you move along your journey to 7 figures plus success. If you're looking to 2x, 10x, 50x, 100x, there'll be something for you here today. So as we move through this success challenge, what we're really looking to do is what are the modifications that we can make to ourselves as executives, entrepreneurs, business leaders within our organizations writ large, how we engage with our customers and our clients, as well as what we're doing with our partner space. And so we need to think of 3 nuggets or elements today. The first is creating a strong foundation. I want to share with you that I cannot really drive the importance of doing this home anymore than I am going to talk to you about today, because it is the key to creating and enabling the success level that you and your team are envisioning. So what do we mean by this, by creating a strong foundation? It really means, A, we have to understand our why. We have to bring different elements to the table. We have to show up every day in a certain way. And the way that we are typically doing this is through embracing a growth mindset. So people say this differently, but what I've seen work in organizations are threefold. One is coming at things from a beginner's mind. So if we remember and honor the fact that everyone has a learning journey, a mastery journey, an optimization journey, we can come at things from a place of how do we approach this differently? How can we think about this differently? How can I harness the intelligence that our organization is already producing internally to maximum benefit? So again, we want to embrace this growth mindset. We want to constantly question. We want to invite differing perspectives. We want to, what perhaps we would have termed, use devil's advocates to question the why. Why did we do something? How did we arrive at a conclusion? What if scenarios, etc. Behind that is having clarity on your why and understanding where you are as an entrepreneur and a leader in your maturation and optimization journey, so that you can specifically share a portion of that with the people that you're attempting to partner with and lead, because that is key to creating a relationship, key to creating a common vision, key to enhancing the depth of the conversation that you all can achieve through that level of truth and trust and transparency. The next is really, it's not enough for us to know our why. It's really necessary for us to be able to share that out. So oftentimes we're talking about that through the lens of a vision for the organization and a mission. The why, the how far, and oftentimes the how, our mission space that we will achieve not only our own organizational goals, but really it's going to be the lens of whom is consuming our products and services through the lens of how we're going to help optimize and help them achieve their preferred outcomes and results, right? So we always want to be sharing if this is in your wheelhouse, the global impact, the benefit and value creation that your organization is going to bring to your customer base, to your partners, and to those who work for you internally. We also then need to define our culture and our values. Organizational excellence constructs, call it core values and concepts. But what we really need to do is help people understand how we're going to do business. And then we need to walk that talk. We need to build the trust through walking the talk so that people understand how we're going to be putting this vision into motion, how we're going to be operating, and not only what are the advantages, but how we're going to handle anything that falls outside of those control gates, if you will. The next one is we're going to focus on our strengths or core competencies. So often as entrepreneurs, we're so enamored by the running of the stand-up of the organization, the delivering something to a client and customer base or to our partners, that we forget that we, don't have all of the skills that we need to do all of that. Two, we forgot our triple D: delete, delegate, or delay, or we're just not putting that into practice, right? So what's the first thing we as leaders need to do is we need to prune and minimize the things that we're focusing on. Use Pareto's rule, the 80-20, right? 20% is going to get us the 80%. Let's focus there. What's that other 80%? Let's hopefully delete, right? Or delay. Those things are absolutely not necessary to get us there. Oftentimes we need to become better deleters, right? The first option, what can I delete in entirety? Given that our focus is on maximization and optimization, 80%, what can we delete? Okay, now that we have the core criticals, what can I delegate so that I can focus on what is going to drive and maximize revenues and profitability for the organization? Who can I delegate? Who are my who's in my whoville, so to speak, from a Dan Sullivan perspective, right? Who, not how. Who can you get on your team to delegate to so that you can focus on the critical things that will maximize revenue, outcomes, and profitability? And then for anything else, we look at where can we potentially partner, right? So delegate, think of delegate as an internal, and then we look at delegation from an external partnership perspective. So this who is the who's in your whoville has two camps, one a partner, one internal, with the impetus and focus on delegation, right? First, let's prune, let's delete as much as possible. Second, let's delegate. And then third, if it's still critical to our organization, but not paramount for that particular time interval that we're focusing on, we will punt or delay those things that are still important to our business continuity, etc. But it's just not due in the time period that we're focusing on. And then again, we're going to look at, if we delay, we're going to go through that same process. Who then can we potentially delegate that to, or is it only something you as an entrepreneur can handle? And then last but not least in this area is, we touched on it tangentially, who are the experts you can bring to the table to help you fill in the gap of what you don't know, or what you do know, you don't know. Both of those, right? The first being potentially more riskier than the second, because at least you have done the analysis to figure it out and you can delegate appropriately when the time comes. But the first, we don't know, is where the majority of the risk comes as an entrepreneurs. And so when we create a board of advisors or a construct, some people call it circle of success, etc. But really what it is bringing people to the table that have different experience and perspectives than you to help advise you forward for maximum outcomes and results and sustainability. We want to minimize your surprises. We want to maximize your outcomes. That means we need to get people onto your board of advisors or your circle of success that think differently, that operate differently, that can bring you perhaps a strategy, a chess move that's going to change the game for you and the customers and the clients that you serve. Secondarily, then, is crafting a clear way forward. And we call it charting a clear way forward, but in reality, you can't go from here to there unless you have defined where there is. And so oftentimes what we need to do is we need to create that the lens of not only your vision and your mission, but we need to create a strategic plan, because that's where our strategic goals and objectives come into play, with which we then align the outcomes and the results that we're attempting to achieve to, with which we measure and manage our performance from, and we're able to then pivot in a much stronger, quicker fashion to be able to move forward to our 7-figure success and beyond. So again, the development of a strategic framework that enables us to operationalize the vision and the mission through a set of strategic goals and objectives. Our initiatives are the way we operationalize. Our performance measurement and managements are the tools that we use to collect, analyze, report, and make visible our progress. And then the decisioning that comes through the level of assurance of the intelligence and the data that we're using helps us pivot faster, further. Next is to then, in order to get 20% of, take 20% of what we're doing and achieve 80% of our results, we need to define and refine the niche that we're serving. Oftentimes, as entrepreneurs, we want to use, again, that shotgun approach, because we know in our hearts, right? We know in our hearts and our heads that what we offer as products and services is going to be of value to so many. But in doing that, we oftentimes diffuse our own ability to achieve the outcomes and results that we're attempting to, because we work from a place of perhaps only our heart and not enough of the analytics that helps us examine how we can maximize profit, how we can maximize revenues through still serving the populations that we want to serve, but thinking about it differently, refining our niche so we can refine our messaging, so we can refine our branding, so we can refine our marketing, so we can refine our funnel, our pipeline, our sales pipeline, our marketing activities. And then last but not least, we need, again, to set that success criteria. What is the outcomes and the results we are looking to achieve? How do we work that backwards through the goals and objectives? How do we work that, again, backwards through, in tandem, in parallel, operationalizing through initiatives? What are the analysis and data points that we have to collect in order to be able to do real-time performance measurement and management? And then what do we put in place from a transparency, a visualization standpoint to help us understand, are we on point? Are we off point? What do I need to do to course correct to either overcome a challenge or to rethink? In some cases, we perhaps didn't niche correctly, or we didn't put in place the correct infrastructure or processes to help us understand where we're at in any given time. So we need to rework and remediate those in order to be able to then scale to higher levels. And then last of the three buckets that we're talking today in scaling to 7 figures and beyond success is adding value and innovating continuously. As part of our results and outcomes, being able to harness the real-time intelligence that we're gaining from the ecosystem that we have within our organizations, that our customers are willing to share with us, and that our partners are willing to come to the table and discuss, is of paramount importance, because every day when we add value, we can then turn that into revenue and profitability for our organizations. When we add value to our customers and our clients, they pay for that. When they pay for that, we're able to go and sustain another day, another phase of success, etc. So every day that we can continuously innovate to add exponential value is what we're shooting for. That can be a thought, that could be a white paper, that could be an approach, that could be a product, that could be a service, that could be helping to build a client or a customer a bridge. It does not have to be something fantastically difficult or that costs a lot of money. Clients and customers appreciate every day moving forward an inch just as much as they appreciate you bringing a product and a service that will help them move forward a mile, right? And it's in the day-to-day incremental value, continuous innovation through the bringing of thought leadership, through the bringing of expertise, through the process improvements, through the harnessing of the strategic framework and sharing that, through the visualization, through the deepening of the relationship, through the advisement that occurs as you do that day by day by day, where you're building the reputation, you're building the trust, you're building the relationships that you need to go to the long haul with your customer and your client. So adding exponential value, innovating continuously. And we do that, if we look at it really ultimately at the core of what that is solving problems, being willing to come to the table with your customers, with your clients, creating a conversation and a communication and a channel around continuously understanding the problems and the challenges that they issues, be they big or small. The next thing we want to focus on is really, again, creating that customer orientation, that relationship, deepening that, because when our customers and our clients feel that we get them, that we respect them, that we understand what they're trying to do, and we can put our suggestions and our thought leadership not only to help them move them forward, but matching their level of readiness and maturation, that's when we can scale further, faster, harnessing our customers' problem set through creation of that voice of the customer, that relationship, et cetera. So staying customer oriented, it helps us, I'll just put it out there, it helps keep us from being arrogant. It helps us keep and continue harnessing a growth mindset. We have to come to the conversations from a place of understanding, through a place of service, from a place of driving the desire in the customer and client to share with us those challenges so that we can then answer the mail for them on an ongoing basis. We also want to ensure that as we're enabling our customers and our clients to succeed, we're doing the same for our partners, and we're doing the same internally. And so we have to remember to align to our core business. We have to remember that we have a core competencies that will constrain our growth in some way, shape, or forms, and that we don't overpromise and underdeliver, especially if we're in one of those critical growth phases where we're needing and wanting to go to a 10x level of growth. We need to be sure that we're not driving outside of our wheelhouse, so to speak, right? That we're consistent and have a strong understanding of our core competencies, that we're harnessing our who, not how from Dan Sullivan, that we're harnessing the constructs he and his co-author put forth, and it's easier to 10x than 2x, that triple D that I mentioned before, that we get the who's on our team that's going to maximize not only their success, but our success and the client's success. And so that's staying in and redesigning, if we need to, our core business competencies. Then we need to really, again, focus on creating value continuously. How do we do that? It means we need to take action daily. We need to stay accountable daily. We need to have put in performance management and measurements constructs that helps us understand how are we doing. And if we need to make a change, we're able to pivot quickly and fastly so that we don't deepen a problem or an issue or a challenge, but we're able to drive forward cohesively through that. And then last but not least, again, we have to come at this from a place of turning our own challenges, problems, and issues into an opportunity. We got ourselves into this particular state. We need to think about this differently so we can move ourselves out of this, but we can also, at that same time, if we think strategically, turn it into a value creation opportunity for our clients as well. So I invite you today to think about what I've mentioned, creating a strong foundation, creating a clear way forward, harnessing continuous innovation, and really deepening your commitment level to creating 7-figure success and beyond. I know you can do it. You are on your journey, on your path. Oftentimes, people just need a little help with their readiness levels, a little help with their improvement levels using that people, process, technology triad, getting the right team of advisors to help you overcome the I don't know what I don't know, or I know what I don't know, but I need some expertise to help us drive forward, especially if it's within your critical path. So again, I hope this was of value and served our entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small, medium, or large size executives and leaders who may be listening to this now or in the future with a way forward to help you scale to 7-figure success and beyond. I look forward to serving you at our next session with our next set of elements to helping you create the strategic and success trajectory that is so important to you.